Hi guys, and today we're doing a trolling video tutorial, and I'd like to say thank you for supporting the channel so far. If you subscribed already, thank you so much, and you haven't, please subscribe so you can get more content like this in the future. So let's get on with the tutorial. To be a good troll, you need certain tools. And you need things to do trolling with. You can't just use anything, because you won't be very successful with your trolls. But what you can use is you can actually use the chair, the wheelchair, where you can just spawn the chairs in front of on top of the people, or like in front of the people where they can just get spawned into the chair. Another tool I like to use is the bed. And I cannot type, for some reason I cannot actually type trolley bed, or like if I try to use bed, I cannot, it doesn't show up. So what we had to do is actually had to scroll all the way down until we find the trolley bed, and we keep on scrolling and scrolling until we find it. And this is one of our trolley beds that we use. And I want to say thank you to the devs for actually coming up with this idea with the invisibility. And if you don't use the invisibility as part of your us knowing trolling, I don't know what you're doing. A lot of your trolling videos are not going to be so successful, but this thing here, the invisibility, is so OP that you shouldn't ignore it when you go out trolling, because it helps you enter the houses, and people don't suspect you going into the houses. So it makes the trolling video even worthwhile, or like just trolling in general just makes it worthwhile. So in summary, the tools that you want to use the wheelchair and the trolley bed. And the characters that you want to use is Rake. Anything that is scary, basically any person that is scary or like just looks weird is a good trolling character. I prefer to use Rake or SpongeBob, or like that the muscular man Chad is a good character to use. What I aim for is to use the most viral characters, because they gain, if you're a YouTuber, they gain most views because everybody's using these characters. Choosing your target. So how the hell do I actually how do I actually target my targets, and exactly do I choose? Who are the specific people that I actually choose? I found that if females are the most easiest to troll, because they give the best reactions. Guys, not so much, because they're so confident that they don't really they don't get scared easily, or they don't even play along as much. But if they do play along, hey, you get a good video out of it, and you get a good reaction out of them. And so I prefer to actually scare females, because they give the best reactions. So houses. So how do I choose my houses to troll? I prefer to choose houses that are actually quite large, or like have a lot of rooms in, and where I can just hide in plain sight. With the invisibility, it makes it a lot more OP to actually invade houses. So the houses that I like to actually invade are the mansions, because they're larger and they have more rooms and more hiding space to actually disappear, move around and maneuver around your characters. So you're wondering, what sort of houses do I actually choose? What are the best houses to actually go and invade? Like I said, they are. And how do I actually enter the houses? Well, I prefer large big houses. Like for example, those two houses in front of us, those are two big houses that are very easy to invade, except for the one on the right, because it has a big large gate and very hard to scale over the gate. So what I like to use with the one on the right is that to enter it, if the gates are locked, I use the ladder to scale over the wall. So let's just head over there and try and enter in one of the houses. Specifically, I will choose the one on the left because it's easier to enter because of the glass walls. So let's go right there, and there's no one there, so it's a good place to actually show, to give an example. So entering houses, let's go invisible so nobody suspects that we're here. So what I like to do is that when I want to enter this house, I prefer to enter with the wheelchair. Let's just check the door if it's open. It's actually locked, so this is great. So how do I actually enter the houses when they're actually locked up? So what I do is that I use the wheelchair, the method. There's other methods, but I prefer this one because it's the easiest. And so let's say you've spawned your chair inside and you're trying to get in. Most characters are not gonna be able to enter with, the chair out there. It's slightly further away from us, so any other character would not able to enter so easily. But because we're using Rake, which is the easiest character to enter the houses, because his hands actually protrudes forward when we use the phone, and so when he touches the phone, touches the chair with his phone, he actually enters quite easily. So but like if the chair is a bit further away, we won't able to enter. So how do we actually enter if the chair is actually a bit further and we're not using this character specifically? So what I like to do is that I like to put the wheelchair in an angle like this, so that way the wheel actually touches the window, and so the glass window, and so it makes it easier for any other character to actually enter. But with Rake, he can enter with the chair, whether it's like straight or in an angle, he can still enter fairly easily. And that is why I prefer to use Rake most of the time. So for an example, and just like that, I'm out. So if I use SpongeBob for an example, let's choose SpongeBob. So now with SpongeBob, and let's try that the wheelchair entering the houses. So I'm gonna spawn this here. See, not easy with SpongeBob. So I'm SpongeBob and I'm trying to enter, and this is what I mean. I cannot enter no matter how much I try. He cannot enter with the chair like that. It's probably because it's a bit further away, but let's just see again. Still cannot enter because the chair is flat. It's flat. It may be touching the glass, which it is, but we still cannot enter. So the way I would do it is that I will stand in an angle, spawn the chair, and boom. And so now we can try and enter. Still nothing, right? Because it's a flat wall. Let me see if I can do it again. Nothing. SpongeBob cannot enter. So you can use a character that is protruding is a lot more better to enter the houses. Rake is a perfect example of what I mean. Any other character cannot do what Rake can do. Enter the house just like that fairly easily, no struggle, just straight in. So that is why I use Rake all the time. So how do we actually use the wheelchair troll? What I like to do with the wheelchair is that I like to spawn, as I mentioned earlier, I like to spawn the wheelchair in front of them. So for an example, I can spawn it on top of them, so that way they sit involuntarily on the chair. And what I like to do is do this, and they don't suspect a thing, and they think it's a glitch of some sort, but they don't know that they're actually being trolled by someone invisible. I know I've been spotted already, so he's probably suspecting that it's me, a random stranger that is. And I prefer doing, this is actually nice doing the troll like this, and I put out a video and with the troll like this, but it's not the best trolling method that I like to use. I prefer the actually taking the pictures and invading the houses, and that's what I prefer to do, because if you're a YouTuber, I like to do shorts with them. And so if you like this wheelchair troll, hey, try it out, see if you like it as well. But personally, I do not like it. But one of my favorite ones though to do is the trolley bed, and there it is. And so this is the one I like to prefer to do, and this is a new one that a friend of mine actually showed me how to do, and I didn't know I could do that. And it just added to the arsenal of of tools that I use to troll, which is amazing. The more tools that you have, the better the trolling video. And so let's go find a target. So at the moment, this person's on the chair, so there's someone outside. So let's spawn outside quickly and go to that person there. He's getting a house, so we can actually go straight and troll him. So what I like to do with this is a new one that has been added to my arsenal, and it's actually a good tool to use, because if they get so annoyed, but they don't get as annoyed as the wheelchair where they think it's a glitch. But with this, they know that it's a person controlling it. But with the chair, you can get away because they think it's a glitch, and they actually rage out. And if you haven't seen one of the videos that I did, go watch that, because you'll see what I mean. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So let's put everything that we've learned so far. So first things first, what you want to do is choose your target. Scan the houses that are like have 1 or 2 people in it. For future purposes, if there's more than 2 people, forget the house. Don't even bother invading that house, because the troll will not go as well, because the people who have so much confidence around the people that they're with, they're not going to be as affected to the troll. They're going to be distracted by the activity going on in around them. So what we want is someone that is like by themselves, or like have one person with them. So in total, you need at least 2 people together. The best ones to target are couples. I don't know why, but they do have couples in this video, in this game. And so I like to target couples, because targets like to travel, they like to go in certain places. So what you can do with that is put that on as an advantage to your arsenal of trolling, and you can just chase them around and follow them and send snaps with them. And that's what I like to do with my trolls. So let's choose Mo Dave. We actually have Mo Dave, so let's go invade her. So let's put everything that we learned together. So what I like to do, if they by themselves, I actually like hit the doorbell sometimes, but I don't really like to do that sometimes. But today I just try it, see what it's like. I usually just send a snap, because if they don't come to the door, we can just send a snap or something like that. So she's coming over and she's gonna check who it is. We're invisible, by the way, so she's gonna come in, check around. There's nobody around, so this is an opportunity for us to actually enter. And we can send a snap and say, let's send a cheeky snap. Let's say, who are you looking for? With a smiley face. I think her name is Mo Dave. So I'm gonna send to Mo Dave, and we'll just wait for the reply. See what she says. And she said, okay, she didn't reply so well. She didn't write a text, so we'll prefer replies with messages on them, pictures with messages on them, and she didn't do any of that. So what I like to do when that happens is that I go look for someone else that's actually going to reply with a message. Or what we can do is keep trying till they reply again with the message. Okay, she replied again. I don't know what she said. And where the heck did she disappear to? Okay, she's right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send a where's my dinner? Wink. And let's see if she replies. And from the look of it, she's gonna actually take her time with the reply. And when that happens, what we can do is we can actually look for more targets. Someone like females mainly. Guys, not so much. You can try guys, but you ain't gonna get much reaction out of them. So let's see if she replied. That she just opened it, and from the look of it, oh, never mind, she replied. She replied with that. And I didn't realize if you're invisible, they can still see you. And so what we can do is, she's not actually doing any more text, and I suspect she's much younger, so we could actually leave and find someone a little bit older, or like someone who actually knows how to actually do like really good replies. A lot of the times when you're doing house invaders, like if let's say the house is empty, you can go into the house, send them snaps, see if they get a reaction out of it. And because people are so protective in this game, they're so protective of their houses, you can like send snaps to them and see if they reply, and see if you can get them back into the house, right? And see if you can get them back in the house, and so they can give a good reaction out of it. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually try that right now, try and get them to come back. And this person is Gebs, I think that's his name, Gebs. And so let's see if we can try getting Gebs up in into the house, see if we can get a good reaction out of him. And so he's not in, so we can send them a snap. What I like to do is go to invade their favorite places that they like to stay. So the first bedroom that you see in this house is probably the bedrooms that they like to stay in. And so that's my prerequisite of how I actually go about invading houses, to go to places where I know they like to chill, they like to favoritize that environment, right? And to send them like chicken snaps, to make them get angry or something like that. So for this example, we're gonna say nice house, and to see if we can get them to come back. And this person is a female but dressed as a male, if I remember correctly, and if it's still the same person. Let's see if we can get a reply out of them. And if we don't, we can do. If they don't reply back, you can just look for another target and try and get a reaction out of them. Okay, from the look of it, I'm not getting a reply. So I suspect that Gebs is actually. It looks like he actually just looked at the message and just ignored it. So when that happens is that I just look for another target. So if they don't reply or they don't send good text backs, I just use another example, because we want to get a good reaction. So if you're creating a YouTube short, you want to have the replies to have texts in them, to be a picture and to have text in them. And if they don't go give good reaction, they don't get angry or mad or like very protective of the property, they're not going to be a good target to use. So I always go find another target and just and repeat the whole process again until I find a good reaction. And so guys, there you go, how to do a trolling video. Anyway, so what we learned today is that when we want to go and troll someone, we need to have good tools, a good character that can enter in and out of houses fairly easily, choosing your targets and houses to invade, how to enter the houses, the wheelchair that you want to use when you enter the house, the trolley bed to chase people around with it, and what you need to do if you don't get any reactions, to look for another target. And so if you enjoyed this video, guys, thank you very much, and thank you for watching. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to get notified for future videos and for more content like this in the future. Thank you so much, and see you next time.